Sushi Jackknife. 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 Sushi Jackknife.
Oh.
I don't like
The
that.
countdown?
I don't like the
Yeah,
countdown.
the countdown.
It's too official.
It does feel official.
I feel like we're going to have to at some point recording remotely. Just start the recording and ignore the countdown, and then just start whenever we feel like it afterwards, so that it's the correct start.
I like that.
We're not formal.
No,
this is not a formal
never
thing
has
here.
been. Never will be. No.
Unless someone wants to give me a lot of money, in which case I'll make it as formal as you want.
Bow ties every episode. What do you say to that?
Suits. Hey, me undies. if you wanna pay us to be formal,
is me undies still one of the big advertisers on podcasts?
I haven't heard it in a while. That was a weird phase where Mark Maron was trying to sell me underwear.
Yeah. Tell him,
like, of all the people in the world to sell underwear.
Yeah. Tell him Steve Dave too.
I don't know.
Yeah, they had a whole.
Oh, I don't want any of their recommendations.
They had a whole. They got in this place where they were doing their ads like really theater of the mind, and they had like people doing like people on their show doing voice work, and then they put in music and sound effects. It was super elaborate for a show that's really off the cuff. Like the ads were highly produced,
wildly unnecessary.
I think just because they thought it was fun, like they were having a good time.
Yeah,
I mean, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have to advertise for underwear, you might as well have fun while you do it. That's what I
think we'd do something like that if we ever had a real advertiser.
Yeah, I saw. I don't. Should we throw past sponsors?
I think
under
we can
the bus?
at this point. Yeah.
Okay, so Magic Mind. Was it Magic Mind?
Yeah.
Magic Mind. Yeah. I saw who is pitching it now.
Oh, really?
Are you familiar with Brendan
Schaub?
Schaub?
Yeah. That's funny.
On that train wreck of a podcast he does with Brian Callen. So,
did we?
I guess were we a stepping stone to Brendan?
It sounds like we beat him to it. Wow. Yeah, Magic Mind. Man. I don't know.
It's pricey.
It was expensive, and I don't think it did anything.
Yeah. I still contend there was a slight difference in my life, but not much.
Yeah.
Definitely not $4.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to remember how much. It was like $80 a case.
I'm pretty sure it was $4.
Yeah, and each one was like $4. But it was basically green juice, with some other stuff.
Yeah, it was green juice with some extra mushroom and caffeine in it.
I think so too. Yeah, it was like people are talking about like clean caffeine or whatever. That kind of thing. I don't know that that's real. I don't know. What do I know?
We'll ask Brendan Schaub.
They were super.
He knows all about it.
I will say this about Magic Mind. They were very professional in their emails. Like they really.
That's true. Yeah. I did read them, and they seemed to know what they were doing.
Yeah.
That being said, I would like to let them know, like, there's a lot of podcasts in the world. You don't have to go to The Fighter and the Kid. There's so many other podcasts.
Is that the name of their show?
Yeah.
Oh, The Fighter and the Kid.
Oh yeah. If you ever are on Reddit, go to the Fighter and the Kid subreddit and just buckle in. It's a ride.
People,
because it started. Well, it started as like a fan page.
Okay.
And then Brendan Schaub has 2 of the worst comedy specials of all time
Yeah.
ever. On IMDb, the last one has a 1.1 out of 10.
That's funnier than the special, right? That he has
Yeah,
a 1.1.
exactly. A 1.1 out of 10. So the subreddit has turned, and now it's just all people trashing the podcast that the subreddit was set up to promote. Oh, it's fantastic.
That's amazing. I like that.
I can only hope one day we have a group of people, they're so devoted in their
Oh
hate
my
to
God.
us that they have a whole subreddit with memes and everything.
It's like,
that's the
it would
dream.
bother me a little if like a couple people really hated us and they were vocal about it.
Yeah.
But if like everybody hated it,
what would have to be the number where you're like, yeah, cool?
I don't know. If it got to the point where there were hundreds of people who were actively shitting on our podcast, I think I would love it in a way. Because I mean,
there would be, there'd be a part of you that loves that it's happening and that you get to witness it.
And they're still listening. Obviously, they're just hate listening to it.
Right. Yeah. Right now, there are. Oh, that's not the right podcast. Hold on.
Look at that phone, boy.
The Fighter and the Kid has 138,000 people on it. 1,000 people active right now, and it's just people trashing Brendan Schaub.
Has this show been out for a while, or is it like a relatively new?
Years.
Okay,
oh, it's
been out for years. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like he was Brendan Schaub. I don't know this for a fact, but I think he was doing it before he quit MMA.
Oh, that's right.
So for those who don't know, this is the recipe for this comedy genius. Brendan Schaub was in the UFC. He was on that, what was the reality show? Like the Ultimate Fighter,
I think that's what it's called.
or something. Came from that. Got his brain smushed in UFC several times, to the point that Joe Rogan on his podcast went, "Hey, you should probably stop getting hit in the face repeatedly." But then Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan is
he's had his brain smushed too.
Yeah, told him that he's funny and should be a comedian.
Oh boy.
Apparently that's not true. And so here we are.
You know, comedian is like one of those tags you can hang on yourself, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's like you can call yourself that, but like,
I think we could technically call ourselves comedian.
Technically, yeah, but I don't consider myself a comedian in any way.
No, but if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't think people would argue with you unless you met like a real comedian, like Brendan Schaub, who
we could talk about, you know, I mean, our very unsuccessful comedy careers. You know, that's you can so be a failure, but you're still at 10. Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
Did you?
We could find common ground. None of us have succeeded at comedy.
Yeah. And I haven't succeeded at being hit in the head either. So, I mean,
there's still time. You can still
do that at any age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. So you know how there's the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
But then there's the senior PGA Tour where all the old retired golfers go. Hear me out. Senior UFC.
Oh my God. Everybody.
Just 70-year-olds beating the crap out of each other.
If that's like the Idiocracy future, if that happens, you know, that sort of entertainment.
That is.
Where it's like, you know, it's one thing to have people who are, you know, completely adults who are getting paid something beat the shit out of each other for money. It's another thing to have seniors do it. And I mean, unless they're willing, unless this is like a movement of some kind or something, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like it's that far out of the realm of possibility at this point. I mean, you remember what it was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when there was the whole thing about bum fights.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
Do you remember that?
I do.
It was for those who don't know, people who would pay homeless people to just get in a fist fight.
It's so shitty. It's so shitty, man.
Yeah, it's honestly the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, outside of like actually physically harming someone, making someone else physically harm someone.
No, it's crazy. Oh, that was the thing. Yeah.
I was gonna say we're almost there. I mean, once you've done bum fights, just pulling people from the nursing home and throwing them in the octagon, I'd
like
coming.
to see
it's basically
if they're gonna do that, then they should do it in a pool. Just like
like a water
aerobics senior fights, gray fight, silver fights.
I like that.
The silver tournament.
I'm gonna get you. Come back here.
I had a day this week where I could have been 90 years old. I felt like it, man. The sneezes aside, that's not really related to it. It was just like my whole body just hurt. Everything hurt.
Why?
I don't really know. And I mean, it was like definitely like an allergy thing, like the triangle, the T of pain right here where your sinuses are.
Oh yeah.
And then just like all the muscles. And I took a bath. Have you heard of these?
I'm familiar with them. They're for, as far as I'm aware, children, women who have had to deal with children, and dogs that rolled in.
Let me tell you something.
That's who takes baths. Yeah.
Let me tell you something right now. That's good for you, okay? I watched a series of videos while I was in the bath that told me how good for me baths are. And you know what? They're right. Placebo effect aside.
Now, okay. Do they mean good for your mental well-being, or physically they're beneficial?
Both.
Okay. What's the argument here for the physical benefits of soaking in your own filth?
See, I knew this. I knew you were an anti-bath guy coming into this.
I'm not really anti-bath. I'm bath agnostic.
Okay. That's fair enough.
But for the sake of this, I'm anti-bath. I don't believe there are physical benefits.
Well, obviously it loosens up your muscles, right? You know, and there's like a temperature range. Like if you go too hot, that's not good because you burn your skin or whatever. But like, there's a certain. I think the guy said this one he really was a doctor, but I really want to go doctor on YouTube because it's a doctor on YouTube, and you should always doubt doctors on YouTube, probably. Right, yeah, but
yeah, it seems like a fair rule.
So, yeah,
I don't trust Dr. Phil. I'm definitely not going to trust a YouTube doctor.
This guy had one thing going for him. He had a good whiteboard. He knew how to work that thing.
That is about all it takes. Having a good whiteboard.
So like it increases your circulation or something. And that's good. And they're also like oxygen intake or something. And they actually did say that like it could help stabilize insulin levels, which I thought was like, wow, okay. This is all there's research on all this.
Why would it stabilize insulin?
I don't really know.
Levels?
I don't know.
And why would a shower not do the same thing?
I think it's the time, because I gotta tell you, I stayed in like way longer than normal. Like I'm usually, and I've always been a bath person. You know, ever since
Yeah.
I can as remember, as a little shaver, I was a
Yeah.
bath guy,
Uh-huh.
and I mean I shower
Yeah.
daily, but then like once a week, once every 2 weeks, it's a nice long bath.
Yeah, I'm not I don't I would rather sit on the couch to relax than sit in
So I
water.
stayed in longer, right? And I felt the initial
Yeah.
relaxation, but then I hit a point where I was like, "Oh man, like I really feel it." Like I went, like I could feel the muscles like release, a little bit, and like
Mhm.
in the back. It was the legs, the back, the hands. I've been doing a lot with my hands, and
What
I've
what have
been
you
I
what have you been
I've been
doing with your
cooking a
hands that
lot, so a lot of chopping, and you know what I mean?
Ah,
Yeah, squeezing out.
mhm. Yeah, I'm familiar
Yeah,
with
yeah,
chopping. Yeah,
chopping, squeezing out rags.
I've heard of
Yeah,
it.
this kind of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I
Okay.
really felt something, and then the effects lasted on until the next day, and then today it had been like 2 days, and I didn't feel the effects anymore. I just felt normal.
Yeah, that's not going to last
No,
forever.
you have to do it more.
So so you need to get a
Oh my
jacuzzi
god, that'd be amazing.
and just sit in a jacuzzi
That
all
would
the
be
time.
amazing. My folks had a jacuzzi.
That Yeah, that's like sitting in boiling
Yeah,
filth. Like you're boiling your own body
yeah.
goons and sitting in it.
Well, you're in line with, I think, like Japanese culture. Like they don't do baths. I believe. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I
really?
think so. I think they do. Like the closest they come is like a, maybe not anymore, but like traditionally. But like they would do like a
Hmm.
sauna type sponge bath type thing. But yeah, they're
Oh,
they're
that's
with
worse.
you.
Nope, I'm
You
I'm
don't like the
out.
sponge?
No, no, no. A sponge
No.
bath? That's worse.
Well, because of the sponge?
It's not it's not grosser. It's just like that's an unsatisfying
Oh,
way
I
to
see what you're
bathe.
saying. Just blot
Mm,
yourself repeatedly. Yeah.
yeah, no,
No,
no.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I heard that somewhere.
I I'll stick with showers. I like
The
showers.
showers.
The water goes down the drain. I don't have to deal with it later, and it's all very
Showers are
nice.
good too. Um,
Mhm.
what's this deal with everyone's taking cold showers? Is this still happening in the world where people are obsessed with taking a cold shower every day?
You mean like to keep from having boners?
No, no, that works.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
thought that was the only use for a cold
I don't
shower. Like,
I didn't know that was a thing. Are people doing that instead of like a cold
I think
plunge?
so. Yeah, it's like if you Google, as I did, the benefits of a hot bath, you will also get a lot of videos about why it's good to take a cold shower, and
All right.
side by side images of people who were once chubby but now ripped.
Okay, let's see what we got here. This is from Men's
All right,
Health.
that'll
So,
work. Screen
uh
share. Ew. He looks like
yeah.
he's having
13 science-backed
way too much
reasons.
fun.
Elevate your mood, jolt you
I don't know about
awake,
that.
fire up your circulation. So your circulation goes up if if it's hot or cold,
Apparently, apparently,
apparently.
yeah,
Yeah. Let's see. Boost your
yeah.
metabolism, hasten your post-workout
That's a big one
recovery,
I've heard.
ease
What are
DOMS.
DOMs?
DOMS. I don't know. Oh, it's talking about flushing your muscles of
Oh,
toxins, and I I have come to the conclusion that when they when they say that there are toxins involved, it's just complete
yeah,
nonsense 98%
yeah.
of the time.
I would have to concur.
I don't think I don't think it's a real thing most of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But what do I know? Okay, let's see.
And what
Uh,
else we got?
immune defenses, defense.
Immune
can support
what
weight
now?
loss.
Immune what now, Nathan?
Defenses.
There you go. You
there.
could say that word.
Nah. 29. Okay, people who take cold showers are 29% less likely to call in sick for work or school. That's because they have no common sense. They're taking cold showers.
Well,
They probably are going everywhere sick, going, I'm fine. I had a cold shower
sure.
today.
It's magic. Do you remember hearing that like certain presidents would do this? Like,
no.
God, which president was it? I don't remember, but there was one who they always seem to do something with the bathroom in the White House every time there's a new president. And there was one guy, I think this must have been like the 40s or something, who had, I don't think it was FDR though. Anyway, they had like super high powered jets on in the shower. And it was like 40 degree water. So it was really cold. And this is how, so basically you step into the shower and you're blasted at high pressure with cold water every day. That sounds horrible.
That sounds so terrible.
I want to say it was Truman, which kind of adds up because
no, that doesn't surprise me.
I don't know about that guy.
He was a military guy too,
I think
right?
So. Yeah.
So he thought he was a tough guy.
He thought he was a tough guy.
He probably thought, who needs hot
exactly.
water, you know? Ease depressive symptoms. Okay. Sure. That's from the Virginia Commonwealth University School of Medicine, so that sounds legit.
Oh, okay.
They quell inflammation. They fine-tune your focus. Okay, now we're getting to vague, unprovable things. Fine-tuning your focus. You can't prove that your focus is better. It's just like, oh, I feel more focused, and that's the end of that. Build resilience. Raise your T levels. There you go.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, so if you feel like you got no testosterone,
take a cold shower. I bet that's where some of this is coming from, then, because it seems to be a lot of guys are into it.
Oh, it's definitely all of this nonsense. Okay, women with their grooming routines, they're very particular.
Sure.
They're not going to mix it up with things like, hey, what if I took a cold shower for 20 minutes a day? They have their routine. It's very set. It's very regimented.
They put a lot of work into
it.
And
they do it. Men, we're always like, what's a shortcut for us to be manlier or something?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Whatever it is Joe Rogan's trying to do.
He's definitely trying to butch up the world. That's for sure. I feel like that's his goal.
So it's right. It's all about figuring out a shortcut to having more testosterone, apparently.
I don't know. There's definitely a point where you can have too much and you just become a rage machine. Like that's real. That happens to people.
Well, that's what roid rage is. I mean, more or less, you've boosted your testosterone levels to unnatural heights, and then you're ready to put your fist through a wall like you're on PCP.
Yeah, cool.
It's ridiculous.
Apparently, LBJ, going back to presidents for a second, apparently, Vanity Fair, the title of this is Super Soaker. LBJ demanded White House shower be fitted with nozzles aimed at his nether regions. That's not the one I was talking about, but
LBJ. Let's see. I have to pull up a picture of LBJ because I can never remember what he looks like. I'm trying to figure out if he looks like a guy that once blasted in the nuts.
Yeah, he pretty much does. It says,
oh yeah.
It says one nozzle was pointed directly to shoot up his butt, while the other was aimed directly at his penis. He nicknamed.
That's
Wait a minute. Oh boy.
that's the look he had on his face when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. He nicknamed that shower head, the one that pointed at his penis, Jumbo. What a weird guy. What a weird guy. Oh my god.
Does that make him our greatest president? It might make him our greatest
Yeah,
president.
it might.
It's like you got Lincoln, Washington, Lyndon B. Johnson, and his
Jumbo.
penis shower.
Jumbo.
Yeah.
That's so strange, but also like he seems like he was pretty open about it, maybe. So like you gotta kind of appreciate a person who's open about their weird shit.
I mean, maybe. It depends on when it's coming up in conversation. Like, is he meeting leaders from other countries going, "Hey, while you're here, you gotta check out my shower."
Well,
It's gonna hit you right in the balls, just over and over. It's relentless. I love Jumbo.
He's standing there with Gorbachev, and he's like, "Look, seriously, dude, check this thing out. Like, I'll leave you alone."
The Cold War would have ended like 20 years sooner if Lyndon B. Johnson hadn't spent all his time trying to get people to take showers with him.
By the way, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Gorbachev at that time period. I just couldn't think of anybody else's name. Khrushchev. Maybe it was Khrushchev. There we go.
You know what? You can throw out any name, and I'll just go,
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. Putin. It was Putin.
It might as well have been. I think his spirit keeps getting reincarnated or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. So this week, I found out about a book I wanted to read. I wanted to talk to you about this problem I had.
Tell me.
So one of our friends went to a local punk festival. And at that punk festival, they had books for sale. And one of them was a book on practical anarchy.
Interesting.
And I was like, that sounds like a very interesting book. And I was like, I would like to read the book Practical Anarchism, which I believe was the book we were talking about. So I start looking it up. And all of like the first results for this book were from like Amazon and Barnes and Noble and places like that. How big of an issue is it to buy a book on practical anarchy from Amazon?
Pretty big. I mean, that is inconsistent. Is it the nice way of saying it?
Yeah, I was very concerned. So I spent a lot of time going, I don't know that I want to read this book because it's not a good sign that this book is only for sale at these places. And finally found someone, whether it was the author or not, I don't know, had uploaded it for free somewhere. And I was like, okay. I'm back on board. We'll read the book. But I do want to know how many people have bought that book from Amazon.
I'm sure quite a few. So is the author actually selling it through Amazon, or is it just?
I think it's the publisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like an independent book. Now I'm looking it up to see if it tells me how many sales it's
I was picturing you buying some sort of pamphlet or something somebody made on a copier.
No. Let's see. It has a 4.2 on Goodreads. It's $20. $20. You can't see that. $20 on Amazon. You can get Prime 2-day shipping for it.
Come on.
Let's see.
Have you dove into it yet?
Okay. Not yet. It doesn't tell me how many sales it's had. It is the number 32 bestseller right now in anarchism. So That's
Oh, that's funny.
apparently a category that Amazon tracks, which I find very
That
funny
is
now.
funny. That is funny that they have to actually track that. That's like, have you heard of people?
Number
That's
32.
a lot of books on anarchy.
Yeah.
Have you heard of people
Anyway,
on Bandcamp miscategorizing their music on purpose? Like some like
no.
death metal band will put themselves under children, and as partially as like a fuck you, but also I think it's like there's less stuff in that category, and I guess they're hoping to get noticed, probably by the wrong people. But
Or they'll have lifelong
could be,
fans.
yeah.
Find a bunch of children that uh, discover them early and
There
grow
you
up with
go.
them.
What were you gonna say?
I
Okay.
don't remember. Number 11 is the Anarchist
Oh, that's been around
Cookbook.
forever.
In case you need to know, which um, it's surprising that they sell that to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, me too.
Um, somehow the Anarchist Handbook is on here 3 times,
Interesting.
which I'm okay. So that book, I checked that out from the library a while ago because it was time for a new book, and got started reading it and realized that it's not it wasn't an anarchist, it was a
Oh,
libertarian
really?
that wrote it. Like
Really?
everything was very libertarian, and you're like, shut up, just
Yeah.
shut up. That's not the same thing. Go away.
Were they talking about the market and stuff like that? Okay.
No, it was I can't even remember what it was, but it was all very libertarian based. There was none of the element of anarchy, which people tend to leave out. That a part of it is making sure everyone is
Yeah.
okay. Like
Yeah.
you're it's not a lawless
Right.
land. You're just governing yourself, and so you're looking out for other
Yes.
people. That was not the focus
Okay.
of this book.
Still had that social stratification in there, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We got to divide between the haves and the have-nots, bruh. And just got to make
Mhm,
sure we're in the
mhm,
haves.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Yeah.
boy. I feel like this could easily turn into a Joe Rogan conversation right here.
It's sneaky. He
Um,
had me at one point for a little while, and I didn't.
oh, I know. I
Yeah,
made
you
fun of
did,
you.
and that's fair. I didn't see it at first. I was like, yeah, this guy, like fucking, and not that I thought he was necessarily smart, but it was just like, I don't know. You feel like
Well, he does invite interesting
yeah,
people on.
that's
I
true.
will give
Yeah,
him that.
I don't know. It was like I lifted up a rock and I found a whole teeming area of life that I didn't know existed before. And I was like, "Oh, look at that!" for a
Mhm.
while. And I mean, yeah, it got me in because
Yeah.
he had like real scientists on and stuff talking about their research and things like that.
Right.
And that's what got me in. And I was like, okay, a 3 hour
It's
conversation with somebody I'm interested in. Okay.
yeah. It's the pseudo intellectual
Yeah.
nonsense that oh man, I can't listen to Joe Rogan think that he's smart.
Yeah.
I
I know.
can't
I know
do
what you're
it.
saying. I know what you're saying.
Like I'm not saying I'm a smart guy, but I'm saying Joe Rogan definitely
Yeah.
isn't a smart guy.
Right. I'm with you. I'm on the same page. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That was another one of those things that just sort of ran through the culture for a minute there. It was like, oh shit, he was everywhere all of a sudden, you know?
Yeah. And then Spotify gave him a bunch
Yeah.
of money, and now people don't really care that much, I don't feel like.
Yeah, I think.
Like, he's still a big deal. He makes a
Oh
ton of
yeah.
money,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but now when he says crazy things, you don't have everyone on Twitter going, "Can you believe what Joe Rogan just
Right.
said?" Probably because everyone goes, "Yeah, I can definitely believe that Joe Rogan just said that
Well,
thing."
it's like we crossed that bridge with him a couple of years ago of being like, "Oh, this guy
Mhm.
doesn't know what he's talking about." And now I think people know where
Right.
to put him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. There are the people who are always going to think he knows what he's talking about, and they're going to follow
yeah,
him to the end of the earth. He can start his
right,
cult,
right.
whatever he wants to do. I'm not sure what his goal is. And everyone else goes,
Yeah.
nah,
Didn't you
that
tell
guy.
me him and a bunch of
Yeah.
his like friends moved to Texas? Is that
Yeah,
Austin?
he lives in
Yeah.
Austin.
Okay.
What I'm trying to think who all I know. Tom Segura moved to Austin. Tony
Oh yeah.
Hinchcliffe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That guy moved to Austin. I'm sure other people
Yeah.
did. Whatever.
Uh,
Now I don't feel like I need to go to Austin anymore. So,
Austin's a weird one because from what I'm hearing, I've never actually been there. I've been through Texas, but I've never specifically been to Austin. But from what I'm hearing, it's like
mhm.
all of a sudden you can't afford to live there anymore because a bunch of tech companies moved there, right? Something like that happened.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Well, I don't know if it was Tesla,
Oh,
but one of Elon Musk's things moved there, and a bunch of it. At one point, they were calling it the new Silicon
right,
Valley,
right.
who, whatever that means. Um, and so a bunch of tech bros invaded town.
Yeah.
I'm sure South by Southwest really sucks now.
It's so weird because Austin, like the thing I think it was known for before was like the whole like outlaw country thing, like very blue
Mhm.
collar
Yeah,
and very like drinking and smoking and partying, and that was about it. It's just funny to
yeah.
think about it.
Now
Yeah.
it's known for uh, Elon
Yeah.
Musk and Joe Rogan opened up a comedy club.
You ever see
That's
that
it.
movie Slacker? Not Slackers.
No, I
You know
know
what I'm
what
talking
you're
about?
talking about. it's it's a
Linklater.
Linklater,
Yeah, I
right?
believe that was made in Austin, and it's a cool movie.
Yeah.
Like very, obviously very independent movie, and it does a thing that I haven't seen it in many movies. I don't think it was the first, but where like you're following a character or a couple of characters, and then they interact with
Mhm.
somebody or pass by somebody, and then all of a sudden you stop following them and you start following this other person, and it does that like
Yeah.
almost like a maze all the way around, all the way through Austin. And at the end, I think it's at the end, there's this guy who just has like no less than 50 TVs, like the box TVs, like stacked up in a room.
Okay.
And you can't really
Yeah.
tell if it's something they just did for the movie or if like this is this guy, you know?
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I have it on my queue on I think on well, I don't know what it's on at this point, but to
Yeah.
watch it and still haven't ever
It's a
seen
cool
it.
movie.
I I can't force myself to watch movies. It's hard to
Yeah.
do it at
I know
this
what you
point.
mean.
Mm, I don't have the attention span.
It's a good one. Yeah. If you're ever in the mood for something like that, and it's like artistic, but it's
He
not highbrow.
yeah, he's the one that did Boyhood,
Oh
right?
man, I have to look it up. I'm not actually sure. Richard.
That that was the most disappointing movie to me ever because so anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm pretty sure it was him that
Yeah,
directed
he
both
did.
of
He
them.
did do Boyhood.
Uh,
Yeah.
the okay, the movie was filmed over 18 years,
Wow.
and so the actual um, children in the movie grow up throughout the filming of
Oh,
the movie.
wow. That's cool.
Like it's real. It's really them
Wow.
aging. It's not some weird Hollywood thing. And I was like, that's a great idea. And then I watched the movie, and like the movie was fine. It wasn't. It's still a great
Yeah.
idea. It
Yeah.
just the execution was like I didn't
Yeah.
love it.
Sure.
Um, the script wasn't great.
Oh man.
um, but I mean, imagine this is what I thought the whole time. Imagine the gamble that you pick. It wasn't a full 18 years because I think the kid was
Okay.
5 or 6 when they
Yeah.
started, but up and till the end of high school. You pick this kid. That kid could turn out to be the worst fucking actor of all
You
time.
have no idea.
Just complete garbage by the time he's
Right.
13. He could also turn out to be the dumbest looking kid ever. You have no idea what you're looking at.
Right.
And how it's going to turn out in 12 years, but he got lucky.
Oh
It worked
man,
out.
that's rolling the dice in a big way.
Oh man, you're yeah. It's I mean, what do you do? Trash the footage
No,
at 17 when the kid can't act?
no. I think you've committed. Like you've got to go through. That's that could be a horrible feeling
Oh yeah.
of like, oh my
Oh yeah.
god, I
I
have
mean,
to finish this.
imagine the read through. There had to have been one point during a read through when they get back
Yeah.
together during the summer to film the next year of it. And the kid like keeps flubbing lines or something, and he's just sitting there going, "Oh no, why?
I fucked up.
So much time, so much time. Now this 16-year-old is gonna ruin the whole movie."
Wow. I don't know, man.
But it's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
If another director wants to do it again, and this time write a slightly better script that I enjoy more, I'm for it. Go for it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. There's things you do for your art. Oh man, I was at the movies a little while back. I finally saw Oppenheimer. I don't know if I told you about this, but great movie. Holy shit. But they were running trivia before the movie, and they ran like a trivia fact about the longest film ever made. And I think it's
Okay.
like 40 something hours or something. It's called The Cure for Insomnia. And apparently it's just like a lot of different stuff mixed together. It's
Yeah.
1987. What's the length? 66% of Google users liked it. How many hours? 5,220 minutes. Whatever that translates to.
Wow, 5,220?
Yeah.
I gotta get a calculator for this one.
And it's like apparently it goes in and out of like music videos and other stuff. There's really no plot, as I understand. 87 hours or 3 days and 15 hours.
87
my
hours.
God.
That's, man.
Oh yeah, and there's a
Wow.
poem being read throughout the whole thing. The poem, let's see, by someone named L.D. Groban, reading his 4,080 page poem. Spliced with occasional clips from heavy metal music videos and porn. Oh my god. It has not been released on DVD or other home video formats, and all known copies are considered lost. Wow.
Oh, that's I hated the idea when you told me how long it was, but the title gets
The
me.
Cure
I
for
like
Insomnia.
it.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a funny title.
It's a well-played
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. There's no chance you're
I
staying up
I
the
don't know,
whole way through that. No chance.
I wanna see the director's cut. Oh, we uncovered 45 more hours of footage that we hadn't put in. Let's add
I want
that
to think
in.
about a poem that's 4,080 pages long. Holy shit.
I
Holy
don't.
shit. I only want to think about it. I don't
don't
want
at
to
all.
read it. God. And then people can do,
Oh.
people can say so much within a haiku. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm,
I don't know how
mhm.
that's better. I don't know how that many pages is better than,
Would you rather have it be one big poem
yeah.
or just a series of haikus that last for 84 hours?
That would get old. That would get old.
87 hours. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
shorted it 3
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. Just 87 straight hours of
Oh my
haikus
god. I can take
over
yeah, well,
porn.
yeah, obviously. Yeah. Well, then you just is the
Art.
sound on or
So
off? That's all I need to know in that situation. Because
in the haiku
in the
or the
porn,
porn?
yeah, yeah,
It's actually I'm glad you asked. It's the
yeah. Ah,
actress in the porn delivering the
well,
haikus.
she's working really hard, and I hope she's being paid well.
Yeah, she's not.
Oh,
It's pornography and an art film. Neither of which are known for paying people well.
that's something I wonder about a lot. It's like how for like really shoestring budget independent movies, how do you get people to be in them? I mean, I guess
You ask your
yeah, you
friends.
ask your friends would be the main thing, right? And then sometimes you probably just have
Yeah,
desperate people.
yeah. Well, I think of, like, the mumblecore
Yeah,
stuff, the Duplass brother
yeah,
movies. Um, the first one I saw, The Puffy Chair, it's, eh,
it's
them.
just them. Yeah,
I no, I mean, they're not what Jay, I don't think, is a main character in it, but he pops up. But it's just all the people they
yeah.
knew. Their budget, I think, was like
Oh my
$2,000 or
gosh, that's
something
amazing.
ridiculous with it,
Wow, wow, huh?
and it's a fine
Yeah,
movie. It's not
yeah.
amazing.
It doesn't need to
Um,
be.
I like the Duplass brothers, but it's not
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I always appreciate it when people just do stuff, like that.
Mhm.
Even if the results are not fantastic, it's like at least you did it.
You have
Yeah,
a
you have a
result.
result. A lot of
Yeah.
people just don't try things, and like I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's better to try and fail than.
it's you don't wanna have the whole what if
Right,
situation.
exactly.
Like, you wanna do it, and then you see, "Oh, it was terrible." Um, and then you don't do it
Yeah,
anymore. Or you go the opposite direction, and you just double down and triple down and quadruple down on the thing that is
yes,
terrible, and hope that one of these days, it's either so terrible that everyone loves it, or you become better at
right,
it.
exactly.
Those are the 2
Yes,
choices.
because there's a lot of really
Um,
bad movies that also get a lot of love. I mean,
oh,
that's
yeah.
I like
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
that stuff. It's like,
Well, I mean, if we're talking high
yeah.
budget, uh, how many Fast and the
Oh,
Furious
good
movies
God,
do
10.
we
There's
have?
10, I think,
And the first one wasn't good. It was
and it was the
okay.
best of all of them, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen
Um,
past two. I saw 1 and 2, and then I
uh,
stopped.
I probably haven't seen past 2
Yeah.
either. I I mostly remember so the first one I saw on a, trip in high school, a
Oh
band
yeah.
trip, we had a TV or a bus with TVs and a DVD
Oh
player.
yeah.
It was a very nice chartered
Yeah.
bus, and they brought 3 DVDs, and everyone chose Fast and the Furious, and I know you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but Paul Walker was not a good actor.
No.
At least
No.
in that first one. It is
Yeah.
bad. It is
I think he was
terrible.
getting better, and then he
Even
died. It's like
yeah,
sucks.
even sophomore in high school me was watching it going,
I don't think so. No.
no, not good, not good.
I'm pretty
Vin Diesel looks like the better actor here, and that's a bad sign. That's not good.
What's funny about well, first of all, let me say this before I forget. And then we'll come back to Vin Diesel for a second. It's the first time we've ever uttered those words, I think. Um
I think that's the first time anyone said that.
I'm pretty sure Roy and I saw Fast and the Furious at the theater in our hometown. I think we did. He can correct me later if that's not
Okay.
the case, but I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure we did. Um, yeah, I don't remember what year that came out, so I don't remember how old I was. Was that like 2000? The early 2000s, right?
It was early
Okay.
2000s for
Yeah.
sure. Fast and the Furious. While I'm looking this up, I will throw out as much crap as I give Fast and the
Yeah,
Furious.
please do.
Too Fast, Too Furious is the best sequel name.
It's a good one. Yeah, it is a good one.
The second best. The number one best sequel name is Sister Act 2 Back in the Habit. It's such a good name because it has two meanings. It's a habit, but then they're wearing nuns' habits. See?
I get it.
2001.
Okay. So I'm
2001.
like 16, 17. So that's about right. Yeah, that's about the right time.
Mhm.
What I was gonna say about Vin Diesel though is like, I think maybe his best acting work is this voice work that he's done for cartoons and stuff. The Iron Giant. He's Groot, obviously, which I know, Groot doesn't have a lot of lines, the same line, but he's got emotional range,
Yeah, I will actually give him credit on the
Yeah.
Groot thing because it's not okay. So one of my favorite things in a movie is when someone does really good emotional scenes without
Yes.
speaking. I think it's probably harder to do an emotional scene where you aren't able to do facial expressions because, it's computer
Right.
generated. You're not in the movie. And you're only allowed to say one word over
sentence.
one
Yeah.
phrase over
Yeah,
and over and
yeah.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, one I am statement.
Like, and he pulled it
Oh,
off.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
worked.
Over the
So,
course of, 3 films and all the tie-ins, it's
mhm.
good, Groot's got a real arc going.
Yeah. It very easily could have been just the same one note, I
Yeah.
am Groot, over
Yeah.
and over.
I just want to point out to my child
But
right
it
now
wasn't.
that she knows she's being recorded.
Are you talking about Groot?
Yeah.
We are talking about Groot a little bit, yeah. And you will end up on the internet, FYI, in video. Maybe you should know this now. The format has changed.
The look of
Yeah,
shock.
from afar, from back here. Yeah. Yeah, I am I am in the middle of the house. This is true. But I have nowhere else to go. Yeah, everyone's going to get uploaded. Sure, we're all eventually going to get uploaded to the internet.
All God's children get uploaded.
Well, that's a title if I ever heard one. I mean, there is a basement in this building, but I'm pretty sure they don't want me recording down there. And the light.
You should just try it.
I'd have to run a really long extension cord, but I think they thought this through. I think they thought it through because two things. One, there's no outlets down there. Two, the timer is on one of those knobs that it counts down the lights. So you only have half an hour of lights. So like mid show every time. Which could be kind of amazing. It would just poof.
Oh, hold on, let me go. Click, 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 click. Okay,
we're back. Good. And we're back. Yeah, there's these like I don't know if I talked about this last time, but there's like these cages in the basement of this building, and every unit has a cage, and it's awesome. It's like a full on storage area down there,
and that's where you keep your child.
Yeah, well, when I'm not using her, that's where she's at. Yep. Yeah, we got to take her out for school and stuff, and then back to the cage.
I mean, you're not a monster.
Yeah, that's right. And when people leave, they just leave it open because you provide your own lock. So, I'm looking forward to walking in some empty cages and being like, I'm not supposed to be here. La 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 la.
Just start putting locks on all of the other
Oh,
empty
that would be
cages,
fun.
and everyone will go, "They're
Oh, you could
claimed. We don't have a
yeah.
cage."
You could really mess with people because there's space for more than one lock. If I wanted
Uh-huh.
to, I could just buy up a bunch of locks.
There you go. That's
Oh.
Imagine all the storage space you would have. It's like, you're a storage
Storage
pirate.
pirate. Storage war. It's weird, in a building like this, there's like common areas, but like
Mhm.
there's a patio outside. There's there's a little like lobby at the elevator with a couch and some chairs, and then there's like a lobby by the laundry room. So supposedly you can wait. No
Yeah.
one does. You can wait for your laundry, right? And but no one uses those spaces really, and I've been sort of using them a little bit, and I think people think it's strange. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, everyone thinks you're the freak
yeah,
now. Like, someone's sitting on
yeah,
that
yeah, I
bench?
know. It's like,
Ew.
but it's like in
Ew.
another way, it's like that's there. Like I'm here, it's there. But I get it. It is weird.
Yeah,
I
I
understand.
what when we lived in an apartment, there was a
Oh,
gym at our apartment and a
yeah.
pool and, like, a weird community meeting room
Oh, okay.
space,
Yeah.
and I never saw anyone at any of those
Yeah.
places.
Yeah. It's just like they do it till
Not one
everyone
time.
thinks they're going to use it and no one uses it because because you don't really want to be around people, right? Like,
Well,
you know,
yeah. I mean, if you can
yeah.
avoid it, eh, I'm going
Yeah.
to. I paid for the apartment part of this, not the spending time with strangers part of it, so
The dog politics here are incredible because there are a lot of dogs, and there's
okay.
a lot of like, I'm happy to say we're not the only ones with kind of a crazy dog, and she's not so bad. I've had crazier dogs,
Right,
but like
right.
there are other people who like I don't know if they're afraid or if there was an incident, but we're talking like not just the muzzle, but like the whole like the thing that wraps completely around their mouth. So there's like no chance that they can bite anybody or any other dog, I guess. It's funny, man. It's like you see stuff like that and you see people who do not care at all, you know,
Right.
and you see the people,
Okay.
it's a wide spectrum.
I've got a fun
Okay,
idea
great.
for you. For the dog, go get some sort of
Uh-huh.
muzzle that is, um, essentially the dog replica of Hannibal Lecter's mask, and then invite every child you see with a parent to come pet
I
the
like
dog.
it. People are not. I mean, people generally are like trying to keep the dog away from you, and I love dogs. I don't really mind, So they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I mean, it's nice, People apologize if the dog like
Yeah.
comes near you, but I'm like, "Oh, that's totally cool," Like I don't mind. I like these things. Um,
Mhm.
and then they actually they to keep people picking up the poop, right? I don't know if I told you this already. They DNA swab your dog. You register your dog on this web page. You get a code, and then they match up the code with the
Uh-huh.
dog's DNA swab. And then if there's poop, they test the poop, and then they know who to come to. Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
Uh huh. Uh
Sure.
huh. Uh
Uh-huh.
huh.
I I do that in my
You
house
you
too.
you DNA swab everyone's poop.
Just people, anyone who comes by. We gotta do a good DNA swabbing just to make sure. So,
I thought when I heard that, I thought two things. I thought one, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, and two, I guess that makes sense. I mean, it works. Like, there's no one leaves any poop. You know what I mean?
will you let the dog poop so it can be tested?
Sure. Yeah.
Just to see if they're actually testing anything?
Oh, you mean like just leave it for a while and see what happens? I could do that. I
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah, just right in the middle of one of the areas where no one wants
Right
to
on the
hang out.
patio. Yeah.
Um, yeah. It'll take a few days for anyone to notice because no one goes
Right,
out there,
exactly.
but eventually someone would.
There's like grills and stuff. I mean, there's like amenities, like I don't know. I'm going to use some of these amenities. Dang it.
Are they are they good grills or are they like the park grills that you're always a little bit skeeved out by?
They are those grills, but they're like 40 years newer than the ones at the state parks.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
The ones at the state parks, I feel like were there when the state park was officially
yeah.
named a
Teddy
state
Roosevelt was
park.
there going, "I
Like,
claim this land." Yeah, or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's, it feels like you need a tetanus
Oh
shot
man,
after using one.
definitely.
Just looking at them. It's bad.
Definitely. I've been watching a lot of you ever watch America's Test Kitchen? You ever watch that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
There's a free channel
Yeah.
on the Roku now of just America's Test Kitchen,
Mhm.
and they show old ones and new ones. And at some point, they lost the guy. The guy with the glasses.
Oh,
yeah. I had to look it up. A contract dispute because he was like the editor and the host and everything. And at some point, he said, "I don't care anymore. I don't want to do this."
yeah.
and
This is
yeah,
terrible.
I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
No one needs to know how to make their pizza dough fluffier or whatever they were. But I mean, it's a great show, right? And
Mhm.
I feel like I have enough cooking tips in my brain right now to make something, some combination of thing.
I Are you going to start a fusion restaurant? You can start combining all of the different foods
So
together?
far, the only thing I've really nailed was cornbread. I nailed some cornbread the other day. But that had nothing to do with them. That was just a
You
recipe I got on the internet.
Yeah, okay, so you're from the
Yeah.
South, but you're very, very close to
Yes.
Canada. You need to create some Southern
Oh.
Canadian
Oh my
fusion.
god, that would kill you instantly.
Yeah, imagine if it would be like making poutine less healthy somehow. Like, all
Wow.
of the poutine is deep fried
Oh,
somehow, I
man.
don't
Can
know.
you deep fry gravy? I'm sure you can.
I You could figure
Ooh,
it out.
what if
That's why you need a
that's
test
right.
kitchen.
Why are the fries what if the fries are gravy? Like
Oh,
we make gravy and then we
okay.
freeze it into the shape of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
fries and then we batter it and fry it.
And then deep fry wedges of
Yeah.
gravy.
Think about
Uh-huh.
it, man. And it just
Oh,
explodes
man.
in your mouth.
My Yeah, I just felt my cholesterol go up. That's crazy. That's
Oh my god,
really
I have to
good.
tell you this before we're done tonight. We were at a restaurant, speaking of poutine, a restaurant the other day, and we haven't gone out a whole lot lately, but last Saturday we just decided to get out because I was going insane. You know, that feeling when
Okay.
you need to get out of the house. Like, yeah,
Oh,
I
I
was
do.
having that big time, and so we went to this restaurant, and it's like a brewery type thing, and I had a couple of good beers and um, whatnot, and we sat outside, and we could hear the conversations of the people nearby, right? And there was this one large table, probably 6 or 8 people at it, but one lady really stood out because she had ordered the poutine and she really, really wanted more gravy. She, in fact, could not stop talking about how she wanted more gravy. Yes, Holden.
Dad, tell them about the person in the car line.
The person in, oh, I will
Oh
get,
my
yes, I
god.
will get to that. Uh, and I couldn't resist. I couldn't talk about her openly because she was right there and she definitely would have heard me. So I resorted to texting my wife
Mhm.
about it. And I said, this lady would really like some more gravy, period. Like, soak them boys in gravy. And then they were talking about sushi, and she said, I don't really like the raw so much, but she does like gravy, big time, lots of gravy.
If you could make her some gravy sushi, there's another fusion idea for you right there.
I could not get over this lady complaining. They asked for more gravy, and the server brought them a carafe or whatever, not a carafe, like a ramekin of gravy.
Just a full pitcher of gravy. Just dump it all over.
And one thing I've noticed, what my kid's referring to, we're doing the drop-off line at school, and it's like any other school drop-off line, right? You see things, right, in the drop-off line. And I have noticed, I mean, this exists in Tennessee too, people having stickers that say like F you or keep honking, I'm reloading, and stuff like that. This lady, this lizard lady in a minivan we were dropping off. She had just dropped off. There's a loop. So we drop off and she's done and she leaves. And written across, the top of her windshield in her minivan, bright pink letters, it just says mean bitch. And you asked me to tell the story. And boy, did she look like it.
Are you ever tempted to just test someone like that? Just a little bit. To see if they really
maybe
are.
If we were together, you and I, to do that. Because I don't think I'm strong enough on my own to test that.
That's your homework.
Oh, great.
I want you in the school drop-off line to just try to irritate her and see what her reaction is. How mean it is. Would you say that she is a mean bitch? I don't know.
Is she owning it, or is it more of a blowing smoke?
Maybe it's an aspirational thing. Maybe she's easily pushed over, like she's a pushover all the time, and so she's like, "No, not today.
Today I am.
I'm a mean bitch today." So
today and every day.
Yeah, there we go. I want to hear how that goes. And next episode, when you're in a body cast, that'll be really fun for everybody to see.
Making friends all around. Sushi Jackknife.
There we go. Sushi Jackknife.
Oh boy. Okay. If I stop this, I can still